Hello, everyone. Today I would like to again introduce HANAA ABDEL-MAGUID. She is a very passionate pharmaceutical management professional with more than 24 years of extensive experience in pharmaceutical sales and marketing, corporate management, research and development, innovation, project management, and managing startups, as well as being assigned as a project fellow in Shaping the Future of Health and Healthcare Initiative, World Economic Forum. Worked in multinational and Egyptian pharmaceutical companies with exposure to a very diverse experience in establishing new businesses and motivating cross-functional teams to consistently achieve action plans. She has completed Doctorate of Business Administration and Master of Quality Management with distinction. Currently appointed as the Managing Director of EEPI Medical Devices Site, CEO of Annex Labs and PBIC Site Director, as well as being a part-time instructor teaching master's students in the Productivity and Quality Institute of Arab Academy of Science for Science and Technology, PQIAAST, and undergraduate students in the Alamian International University. Her courses include research methodology, contemporary management and future shaping, strategic management, critical thinking, decision-making and problem solving, project management foundations, performance management foundations. Professional soft skills training courses include communication foundations and teamwork foundations, good clinical practices. And now I will move to her, and she will share her success story.
Thanks, Dr. Renuka. It's very nice to meet you again. And it's my pleasure and honor to be asked to share my story. I'm HANAA ABDEL-MAGUID, a graduate from Pharmacy 2000. I started my career in a pharmaceutical company, American pharmaceutical company, Merck Sharp & Dohme, in sales and marketing for 8 years, during which I made my MBA, Master of Business Administration, which had a very, very big impact on my thinking to be more widely considering all other aspects than not only scientific. And this is the first advice I would like to give the students and the young women before approaching the work. You need to have not only the technical skills that you are focusing on in STEM research. No, you need to know other things like HR, like finance, like management, so that you'll be able to join a successful career. And then after the MBA, I got 4.0 GPA, so I got a scholarship for the Doctorate of Business Administration from the Academy, Arab Scientific Science and Technology Academy. And in this scholarship, I met my next employer, Dr. Shirin Helmi, the head of Farco Group, where he had hunted me, and then he made me join Farco as his right hand, like they say, where I got introduced to a very different way of work, which is family business. I used to work in an international company, whereas there is limitation. You have to get to the headquarters in USA to get any approval or anything. In the family business is much easier. The decision making is much faster, and I got the chance to be exposed to many areas in the corporate and many departments, and I chose to focus on the R&D, where I found very much interested Dr. Shirin in this area, but there was lack of system. I started to build a system. I started clinical research projects and innovations, which was the first time in Egypt to work on innovations. And alhamdulillah, sorry, I got muted. I ended up being a key partner in the successful story of elimination of HCV by conducting the clinical trial that got our generic product to be registered in both Egypt and Malaysia and South Asia. And I learned a lot in this area. And then we started to build or to, I started to manage the new company of manufacturing API, which is also the first time in Egypt to manufacture active pharmaceutical industry, to manufacture the APIs for the HCV. And this was my first, before I used to be a medical director, this was my first management position. I learned a lot from it, how to deal with people, how to be efficient and to communicate with people and to build the team and to understand the motivation of every team member and to be flexible with the team members so that they know you care, so that they care. It's the saying goes, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. This is very important, and that's what I learned in my first management position. And then I was responsible for managing PBIC, Farco-B International for Chemicals. It was in 2019. Since then, we got the accreditation of WHO and for the Anvisa, Brazilian authority for health. And we took off in a very nice way to serve the pharmaceutical industry in Egypt and to relieve the burden of importing APIs step by step. Meanwhile, I got appointed as well for another startup, because Farco Corporate is a group of 9 companies, but we have now 3 startups, and I was in the beginning, I was the corporate quality and HSE director, managing the quality and HSE in the whole group. And then I was assigned to manage the startups, because they say that I'm like the mover and shaker. I like to build systems from scratch, make sure it's running, and then move to another area which lacks system, and then build the system from scratch again. And in this process, I learned so much. I get always out of my comfort zone. I stretch my comfort zone, and I enjoy doing that. This was a very important criteria for me to be able to handle all the challenges and the progress in the startups, because startups are one of the most challenging areas. 85% of startups fail due to many reasons. Alhamdulillah, I started API industry startup since 2018, and then worked as a CEO of Annex Labs, which is dedicated for servicing other companies as well, like PBIC, for analytical development and product development and consultations and trainings and that stuff, and stability studies. And hopefully, and inshallah, we extend our facility and our services to cover other companies as well. Meanwhile, there was also an initiative to start medical devices industry, also the first in Egypt. And we started with the API medical devices site, which manufactures gastroscopes and incubators and washer disinfectors. And I was assigned as well to manage this startup. Meanwhile, in parallel, in my weekend, I teach critical thinking for undergraduate students. I teach critical thinking for undergraduate students in Alamein International University as a university requirements for all the years and all the specialties and all the faculties. It's a new experiment for me. In the summer, I teach 70 students. Now I'm teaching 1,500 students. It's challenging, but also I like to stretch my comfort zone. And meanwhile, I know and I believe that the best way to learn is to teach. It makes you always sharp and gain new knowledge and updates. And critical thinking is a very, very, very critical and crucial skills in the AI generation that we work on now. I used to give a presentation in AST in the Academy for the 5th Industrial Revolution, where the human and the AI will collaborate together instead of replacing each other. And that's why the World Economic Forum focused that the main skills required that will be required in 2025 are mainly focusing on the brain, the critical thinking, the problem solving, the ideation, the creation, the troubleshooting. This is how the AI will give the chance to the humans to work more, to make use more of their brains, that AI, whatever capabilities they will have, as we saw in the video, they will never replace this ability of critical thinking and problem solving and troubleshooting and thinking in a wider range of possibilities, because the human will never be replaced by AI in this regard. Maybe it will be better that AI and robots will replace humans in the mundane activities and in the things that used to waste our time, so it will make it more efficient, especially in the STEM education or the STEM specialties, including engineering and science and technology, to help us, give us a room or a time to think more, to be more smart, to work more smartly, to utilize our brain more, so that we make the best use of it. But in the education, my worry is that people understand ChatGPT and generative AI the students understand it in the wrong way, because we know now the perils of ChatGPT and how hallucinations can happen. You cannot rely on them 100%. You have to use your critical thinking skills and your knowledge to evaluate the output that comes from AI tools, and to make use of it in the way that helps you most to achieve more and to advance more and to use your brain more. That's what I believe about AI. And that's why I'm also teaching for the master students in AST, because I consider AST, or the Arab Academy for Science and Technology, as my home. My father used to work in it. I got my MBA and DBA. I'm teaching in it in the Productivity and Quality Institute. I'm also teaching contemporary management and future shaping. Future shaping is a new branch in science that we all have to consider, because that's the way to help organizations see in the future and plan themselves not to be abolished, that like other companies in the past, like Kodak, for example, like Nokia. So we need to think and make strategic planning and future shaping in a more deeper sense, so that we can survive and thrive. So that's my